I'm Russell Ward, I'm the Chief Executive of Silent Edge and started the company 9 years ago. The reason I started it is because I was a sales director for 11 years and spent an awful lot of money, £700,000 on sheep dip sales training. Training, when you deliver it, is a maybe 2-3 day course, is just a simple shot in the arm. And the problem with that is if you don't back that up with coaching and development and support, people will actually forget everything they've been taught in that training session around 60 days later. So what's really important for us is to make sure that if you're going to want to try and improve the skills and capability of any form of salesperson in any role, what you really must focus on is the managers. We give those managers the tools and the capability, the coaching capability, to go out and assess and develop and create coaching plans for their staff. With that information, what we're able to do is to identify the strengths and weaknesses of all the sales forces. We put in development training programs that are absolutely bespoke, that fit those people like a glove, and we teach the sales managers how to use that data to then coach into the gaps. So the sales management community become the sort of L&D, the development platform for an organisation moving forward. It's insane if you think you can change behaviour by sticking people in a room for 2 days. What's absolutely imperative is that you get the sales managers to be able to understand the capabilities of their teams. So we've created best practice scorecards for every single different role in the sales world today, even done by industry, so pharmaceutical, financial services, telecoms, media, all those different types of scorecards that we've created. There's 300 of them, and those 300 scorecards create coaching plans for the sales force. So the primary focus of Silent Edge is to work with sort of medium to large size companies putting in sales academies. So currently we're putting a sales academy in BT Business for 1,800 salespeople. We've already worked with 700 salespeople in BT Directories and BT Redcare. So there's about 2,500 salespeople that we're working with currently in BT. Probably one of the largest sales academies in Europe. And we're doing everything end to end, so they use our tools from recruitment to understand creating coach plans. We develop the sales management and sales leadership skills, and we also put in the programs of development for the sales forces. We're also putting sales academies in place for Barclays, Ecclesiastical Insurance, ADT. Just to talk about Ecclesiastical Insurance for a minute, one of the things that we did with them is that they put in one of the best sales academies I've seen actually. It links into the University of Gloucester, so there's a further education, higher education certificate that they'll get as a result of going through our academy. But they measured their sales force in a 6-month gap from measuring them the first time to the second time in terms of their capability using our tools. And during that 6 months, we had actually developed and put in all the training programs, and we taught the managers how to coach and become coaches and improve their sales management capability. And their sales went up 16% in a year, in that year as a result of that program. The Silent Edge results went up 13% in that period of that 6 months, and then new business team results went up 14%. Very interestingly, there were a couple of people whose results were quite high at the first measurement, but went down on the second measurement, and so did their sales. So what we do in terms of the measurement that we put in and looking at the skills and the capability of each team is absolutely corresponds with revenue growth and with the impact that we make. We're totally focused on return on investment. It is the #1 priority for us. If we don't deliver revenue growth for you, we've failed in what we do. So when we work with Cable & Wireless, one of our early clients, they had a 450% growth in revenue in 6 months in the London team that we work with. 3663 had a £6 million profit increase in the time that we worked with them, for example. So whether it's a call centre, whether it's a field sales, whether it's complex, high value strategic selling, whether it's partner sales, channel sales, inbound, outbound, whatever it may be, we are able to deliver everything end to end. One of the things that really sets Silent Edge apart is its relationship with the academic world. They've really taken a deep look at what we do and taken our data and to make sure that it really is as credible as it is. Really, that came from the sort of results that we get, where they were a little bit dubious of whether we had actually that made that impact in organisations. So Cranfield took 800 sets of data from us in 2008 and published a piece of research, which is quite honestly groundbreaking stuff. Some piece of research that's not really been seen in the market before. They discovered there's 8 different types of salespeople in the world today, and that the lower 4 of those are not very good, and that the majority of salespeople sit in those lower 4 categories in the UK. And this is all blue chip people paid quite a lot of money. That was picked up by Harvard in December of 2010 and published in the Harvard Business Review as a piece of research. So our methodology has now been acclaimed really at the highest level. And I think it's one of the few times that Cranfield have ever been mentioned in the Harvard Business Review. One of the things we're really keen at SilentEdge is to create a standard in sales. There's no qualifications in the sales industry. It's very hard to understand the capability of salespeople. We've created a methodology that can tell you in an hour how capable, what the skill is of any salesperson in the world. But what was additionally important to us is to try and create a way of a qualification that would give people a higher education certificate. And we're working now with Aston and Ashridge to do that. What we're doing is we're creating a higher education certificate, the ability to get a master's in sales management through the business schools of Aston and Ashridge, so that people can actually go through our program, the Sales Academy. 5 days of the face-to-face training will count towards that master's, and then they go online and do some extra curriculum activity, which can end up in a certificate, a diploma, or actually a master's itself. And we're one of the few companies in the world which will be able to offer that. At the moment, it's sitting with us exclusively.